I'm Brandy Williams, and it's Earth Day. It's April 22nd, 2017. And lots of my friends are out doing science marches for Earth Day. And my Facebook feed is filled with images of people who are holding signs. There are young people and old people. There are professional scientists and people who are lay supporters of science. And their signs are short and to the point or green, and some of them are scribbled and really long because these people are really passionate about science, about the agreements that we can make through science. And I'm making a video rather than marching in the street because this was the only weekend this month that I could do a writing weekend, and I need to have one of those to keep up with my own personal work. Last weekend I did the Black Lives Matter march, I did the Women's March, and I think it's really important for us to get out in the streets and demonstrate, meet with each other, and support each other in what we believe in. I do passionately believe in science. I do support science. I myself am a geek in the best possible sense. People often give me the feedback that I'm kind of cerebral when I talk. But this is because I love science. I love history. I love the idea that we can get together and make agreements about what we see. Neil deGrasse Tyson had released a wonderful video today that talked about the scientific method. He described it as he makes a hypothesis and he makes an experiment, and the experiment has a result, and he publishes that. Then someone else, maybe a rival of his who says he can't be right about that, makes an experiment and either disproves it or proves out what he had found. And if there are two experiments that agree with one another, then you have what he called an emergent truth. I love this idea, an emergent truth. And the idea of science is that if you do an experiment, you can get the same results. You do the same experiment, you get the same result. I also love the idea that science doesn't take any given thing as a final chapter, but that our understanding can continue to evolve as we learn more and more about the world. So it's fluid, it's not fixed. But that emergent truth, that's a really good place to start, a baseline that we can agree, it's true that the sky is blue. It's true that global warming exists. And we use that baseline to inform policy decisions, which is what the Science March is about today. It's about people who are denying the idea that there is climate change because that means that they can continue to exploit the earth for their personal gain. And that's what the marchers are about. That's what we're standing against. This idea that you can choose to disbelieve something that has been proven by the scientific method because your personal desire can override that consensus. And we're saying, really, we're all in this together. No one person gets to own the earth and exploit it. We are all stewards of the earth. We all get to make decisions with each other about how best to preserve the web of life, preserve resources for future generations, right? So that's what the Science March is about. But I'm a woman magician, right? That's my identity. And magic and science sometimes seem to be at odds. This is because magic, science, and religion split 300 or 400 years ago in the West, in the European West. Before that, though, natural magicians were the original scientists. You look at the history of science and you go back farther than 300 years, you'll find someone who's doing all kinds of experiments, alchemical experiments. And earlier than that, you will find philosophers, Neoplatonic philosophers, who are talking about how the world works, what the universe looks like. And they addressed subjects that are now considered to be the province of religion, where the soul comes from, what the origin of the world is, what the origin of the universe is. So I don't see science and magic and religion as being at odds with one another because I understand the history about which I am very passionate, I want to let you know. And because I am a scientific Illuminist. So I am a Thelemite, and Aleister Crowley sort of generated this idea of scientific Illuminism. He said, the aim of religion, the method of science. The method of science, the aim of religion. And this is very important because it means that our magic isn't fixed. It's not a belief system that we adhere to or deviate from. Our magic is also experimental. If I do a a magical operation and I tell you how to do it, you should get the same results. And I do see this reliably happen across the magical universe. People do magical operations and they get the same results. And we teach each other how to do these magical operations. And the idea of scientific illuminism is that where science has generated an emergent truth, we take that into our magic and we allow that emergent truth to shape our magic going forward. So we allow it to change our magic. And you see a lot of this in our contemporary magical climate, the idea of chaos magic, the idea of popular culture magic. We're allowing what science finds to shape our magical world. And so I am a scientist and I am a magician and I am a priestess. And these things are not at odds with each other in my practice. So that's what I wanted to say about Earth Day. I hope everyone is enjoying it. I hope that you get some sunshine or get some rain, get out in the natural world and love the world that we're in. So enjoy your Earth Day.